back with sports and weather at 15 and 45 past the hour. This is Miami 1290. I'm Walter Williams. Next up, traffic. Leah, how's the drive home looking?
That helicopter crash east of the 95 freeway has brought traffic to an absolute standstill. Both directions, 9 and 29, the two-car interchange is completely backed up. There is also an ongoing police investigation at the Miami Science Center, which has been sealed off, so stay away from 12th Avenue as well. If you need to head north or south, try 2nd Avenue or Biscayne Boulevard. And finally, if you're heading to the airport tonight, remember to give yourself a little extra time. The Skyfleet S-570, the largest passenger plane ever built, gets unveiled tonight. A launch party at Terminal C will begin in about 3 hours. Our very own Brian Grimes will be there to cover the destination.
More on that helicopter crash is Miami 1290 correspondent Don Seelke, who is at the scene now. Don, what can you tell us?
Walt, I'm at 28th Street, just south of Ocean Park, a scene of utter devastation. The wreckage of the helicopter is scattered from one end of the block to the other. It's a miracle that no one out here was hurt, but from what police and fire officials are telling me, the only casualties so far are the victims in the helicopter itself.
Do we have any idea who they were or who was operating the helicopter?
All the authorities will say so far is that this was a private drone crash, and that the expert we saw earlier may have played a role in the crash. Now, I've also heard unconfirmed reports that a helicopter was seen earlier this evening flying very low above downtown, exchanging gunfire with a person or persons on one of the rooftops below. So I think there's still a great deal we've yet to learn about tonight's events. Walt, back to you.
Unusual story developing out of downtown. To recap for our listeners, a helicopter crash at 28th Street south of the 95 has caused multiple street closures in the vicinity. Traffic reporter Leah Chong recommends 2nd Avenue or Biscayne Boulevard as an alternate route. We're also working on reports of police activity at the Miami Science Center, which we'll be reporting on as soon as that information becomes available. Well, this is turning out to be a busy night for reporter Brian Grimes, who was supposed to be heading out to the airport for the Skyfleet launch party, but is reporting to us now from the Miami Science Center, where police have just briefed reporters on an incident that occurred there earlier this evening. Brian,
Lieutenant Commander Greg Chang says that at about 6:25 this evening, gunshots were reported from the Science Center, which was closed for the night. Police and paramedics responded and found evidence of a massive gunfight, including multiple casualties. Who these people are and what they were doing inside the Science Center remains a mystery. Police have confirmed 6 fatalities so far, and with the number of ambulances I've seen here tonight, I can only assume that number is going to rise.
Walt, have you been able to get inside the building?
Not yet. Fire officials are dealing with an exhibit collapse in the main hall that may have damaged the structure's integrity. Once the building is again safe, we need to get inside.
That was Miami 1290's Brian Grimes at the Miami Science Center. Now it's time for a traffic update with Leah Chong.
Thanks, Walt. That Science Center closure is adding to an already impossible commute through downtown. An earlier helicopter crash has traffic on the 95 slowed to an average speed of about 5 miles an hour. 7th Avenue is closed, so the surface streets aren't moving any faster. I'd recommend 2nd Avenue or Biscayne Boulevard as your best bet. We are also now learning of a road closure at the Miami Airport at Terminal C. More on that as it develops.
Heck of a night to be driving in Miami. And that's sports with Jeremy Luties. Now an update on that helicopter crash we reported on earlier this evening. Miami 1290 reporter Don Seelke has the latest. Don?
Heavy rain, but police are now suggesting that the helicopter may have been brought down by gunfire. Wreckage from the helicopter, along with eyewitness accounts, suggest that a gunman on the roof of the Miami Science Center may be responsible for tonight's events.
Don, as you know, the police are also investigating a separate gunfight at the Science Center earlier this evening. Any connection?
Police won't comment on that, Walt, but off the record, authorities do seem to think the two events are related. I'm sure we'll be learning more as this fast-moving investigation continues to evolve.
Don Silky at the 28th Street helicopter crash. Now the latest from Miami Airport. Jumbo jet seems to be snagged. Reporter Brian Douglas has this report.
Thank you, Walt. Earlier this evening, a false alarm sent fire officials scrambling to evacuate Terminal C, where the Skyfleet S-570 is berthed. Officials quickly determined that there was no fire, but when gunshots were heard, the terminal was locked down. Police and Homeland Security officials have yet to make a statement, but even from outside the terminal, we've heard sustained bursts of gunfire over the last 20 minutes. Those responsible for that gunfire remains unknown.
You mean the police are not involved?
From what we've heard, no. I will tell you, Walt, that I've heard rumors that this may involve national security agencies. Whether the FBI, CIA, or other organizations, I don't know.
Thank you, Brian. This is Miami's favorite news and information station with sports and weather at 15 and 45 past the hour. Traffic is next.